Hi, my name's Deborah Carr, and if you haven't visited my channel before, I write contemporary romance series as Georgina Troy for Boldwood Books, and I write historical fiction for HarperCollins One More Chapter in my own name, Deborah Carr. And today I was thinking about what to talk about, and it occurred to me that I don't think I've discussed being a hybrid author before. So although I'm traditionally published currently by two publishers, I have also been self-published for quite a few years, and I really enjoy both. Both are very different. So for being traditionally published like I am now, I rely on the expertise of my publishers, and I benefit hugely from their expertise. So they decide on the marketing and mostly on the covers. The cover designers will come up with the brilliant covers. There might be some discussion on the covers, and they always ask me if I like them, which is lovely. And occasionally I'll get a choice of 2 or maybe 3 covers. Titles, again, another thing I like to leave for their expertise because they do know what they're doing. But again, like last night, I had some emails back and forth about suggestions for titles for this one book that I've got coming out in the next couple of months. So obviously I know the book well because I have written the book, and so I might be able to come up with some suggestions they find useful. So it all depends. So being traditionally published, I agree with them, obviously delivery dates and when the book will be published, as we're discussing the contracts. I don't currently have an agent. I have had a couple of agents, but at the moment I'm dealing with both my publishers myself, and I'm quite happy with that. And so we discuss, as I say, as we're working through the contract, and when if I'm offered a new contract, we'll discuss how many books it's for. We'll discuss what the books will be about, and I will send in an outline in some cases. And then we'll discuss, as I said, delivery dates, so when I have to deliver them by, and publication dates, when they will publish them by. Obviously, if you're self-published, you decide that all yourself. There's no commitment to stick to it unless you put a book up for pre-order on Amazon, for example, in which case you do have to stick to that date. I think you can change it. I never have, but I think you can under special circumstances. But obviously with a publisher, I haven't actually had to delay anything before. I think I asked once to delay a deadline by, I think it was about 3 or 4 days, but that was all. As a rule, I have stuck to my deadlines, but I think they're fairly easygoing if there are obviously extenuating circumstances, possibly. So the difference for me is that with a publisher, you work out with them publication dates, titles, delivery dates, and it's obviously what books they want you to write, what they want for their listings. They obviously the experts in advertising and clearly marketing. They will know better what works on a cover for what genre and that sort of thing. When you're self-published, obviously you can write what you want, you can publish when you want, you can have whatever cover you want, titles, whatever. And some people are brilliant at that. I've been okay with that, but it's really interesting to learn from professional marketers, professional marketing people, marketers. And I've learned an awful amount from my publishers, things that would never have probably occurred to me before. So whilst I'm sure one day again I will self-publish, because I do really enjoy that control. I love that control. I love being able to see exactly how many copies were sold yesterday and today and that sort of thing. Whereas with a publisher, you obviously find out how many copies you've sold because you get royalty statements. But you obviously have to share those royalties. So there's lots of pros and cons for each one. I've thoroughly enjoyed both for obviously different reasons. And at the moment, I'm very happy being published by 2 brilliant publishers and learning a lot from them and being helped enormously by their experience and their expertise. And I'm really enjoying working with them. I've been very lucky with my editors, and they've certainly helped make my books an awful lot better. Also, the difference is if you're self-published, you obviously you might have a choice as to your covers and that sort of thing. But you pay for your covers, you pay for your edits, you pay for any advertising. So you might have that control, but it also then costs you that initial amount up front. You obviously probably keep a high percentage. Obviously, you keep all of it. Whereas with the publisher, you share it, and it's depending on what percentage they are for different formats. So ebook might be one thing, paperback, hardback might be a different, audio might be a different one. Another thing, for example, when I self-published an ebook and paperback. I never did hardback, and I didn't do audio book. I did with one book. I signed a contract for one book with My Broken Faces with Tantor Publishing, which was brilliant. But as a rule, unless you're offered a contract for that, it's very expensive, as far as I'm aware, to have an audiobook recorded. So again, that's something that I have enjoyed having with my publishers. So there's the pros and cons, and I just thought I'd talk about that. I don't know, lots of people wouldn't dream of being traditionally published because they just love that control and they're very good at what they do. And then other people wouldn't dream of self-publishing because they are very happy for a publisher to actually be the one with all the knowledge and to do all that. I think it depends what works for you. Both actually has worked for me. So yeah, I have enjoyed both very much. But at the moment I'm being traditionally published and I'm really loving it. So that was my waffle for today. Are you a writer? Have you considered self-publishing? If you have you maybe done self-publishing for yourself? Have you self-published? And what did you think of the experience? Or would you prefer or consider maybe only being traditionally published? It's can be quite difficult getting a publisher. Like with anything, there are an awful lot of people out there wanting to be published. But it's wonderful fun either way. Hard work, but good fun. So I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, press the subscribe button below if you haven't done already, because it helps get my site noticed, my channel noticed, and do ask me any questions you like. Thanks for listening.